The following is an excerpt from the novel Promo Cowboy by Barry Fitzsimmons, read by the author. Chapter 7. That good Italian's still warm in my belly, my first lunch to boot. Belinda's long gone, and me and Joe are making progress on our first spot for TV station. One of them long promos for all the moving pictures that'll be on the network, weekends and late nights, like you see on them classic movie channels that don't cost nothing on your cable bill. Course, I ain't got cable at my little hovel on the west side, only it's good to know how folks are carrying the torch. Anyhow, Joe's laying down shots on the fly and bits of sound from the likes of old Cary Grant and Claudette Colbert under some zippy jump blues I found, and it's all fitting together like pieces in a puzzle, like you wish it'd happen all the time in the edit room. Course, it ain't like a switch you can throw. Momentum like Joe and me have built up, it comes and goes on God's whim. The trick's to take full advantage, keep it going till them creative juices give out. Guess we're about 3/4 done covering all the black holes when I glance at my old Timex. 8:25 p.m. Shoot, the edit room's only booked till 6. After that, the hourly price goes up awful steep like. Only, last thing I want's to call it a day. Old Joe don't seem to care. Way he tells it, there ain't nothing but problems waiting for him on the Jersey side. Plus he gets a real good rate on that overtime. Broadway Jane calls up right then, telling how she took the liberty of ordering steaks and beers all around, all of it on the house, and I figure I'll postpone that promise I made to the mirror about drying out for a day or two. We're in it for the long haul, I tell Joe, and he makes a nod like it was the plan all along. Jane shows up and takes her usual place on that cowhide sofa at the back, with a dainty salad and a tall whiskey rocks, and we work right through our supper, laughing and talking about old times. Jane mostly holds court on account of she's buying, and all that momentum me and Joe had sort of peters out, like it always does, and sometime round 10 we throw down our napkins and set to wrapping things up. Joe starts putting our project to bed, and I slip out for one last cup at the coffee island. TSV's all but shut down for the night. The halls are dark and awful quiet, except for that cleaning lady and her vacuum. Ask me, folks like old Carolina don't get near the thanks they deserve, so I finger my hat brim and make a nod to her. She looks back, hangdog like always, like she can't wait for me to guess so she can get her work done and edit too. I pull the dregs off that metal silo and bring my cup to the corner where all that beautiful light from Times Square comes up through the windows just like Christmas. I think on how the square's changed, become a cleaned up attraction for families it has, only there's still plenty to shield the kids from, and in the middle of my thinking, I feel a man's hot breath in back of me. Keeping a late schedule? Franklin? It's him all right. I turn. Willis Schubermiller? What the heck are you doing at TSV? The usual. Why ask? Thought you wasn't willing to... I stop. Ain't gonna let on what I learned today about his trouble with Belinda and vice versa. Never mind it, I say, blowing into my cup. Course that coffee's already colder than stone. Belinda told you I wasn't willing to work here, didn't she? Well, I'm not. Not for her. My TV station projects are on autopilot at a couple rooms downtown. I'm here for another client, in the new compositing room. I make a sniff. Non-linear, that new room? Digital-like? Willie rolls his eyes behind them glasses. Everything's digital now. He points in the direction I come from, except on the far side of the facility, where you and the rest of the dinosaurs hang out. Guess I'd rather run with a breed that's tried and tested. Gimme linear or gimme death. Linear is death. And this new layering software we're using blows everything else away. This box is compositing 3D graphics in real time. It's beyond state of the art, but it's expensive, like 5 times what linear costs. So, he opens one palm, then another. I cut the piece at my little place downtown, then we import to the box here. He brings them hands together like a prayerful man, and add a layer of fairy dust. I give my foo a stroke. Guess I never thought how you can do that. I stop talking on account of I of a sudden get interrupted by that nasty girl Bonnie, who was in my edit room that one time when she didn't belong. Comes out from the dark, she does, and whispers in Willie's ear right while I'm trying to say my piece. Girl ain't got no manners at all. Then she turns and heads back to where she come from. Willie and me both watch her walk away. Who's that girl, I say. He touches them thick frame glasses between his eyes. Bonnie Bittman, my charming young associate. She's gorgeous but clueless. Could have been you, Cowboy, but now... He makes a face, a cocky-like one, then looks at his watch. Wow, will you look at the time? You and Joe ought to be finishing up, don't you think? To stay on budget? I feel my neck hairs. What's it to you? Never mind me. What's it to Belinda? Overtime at TSV isn't cheap.